High schools around America have a huge problem that they are currently facing. Vaping devices give students easy ways to conceal their nicotine use during school hours. Students can easily hide their use of their devices in class, in locker rooms, and in restrooms. Like schools around America, DGS struggles to keep their school vape-free. As of 1994, the Pro-Children Act of 1994 states that smoking is prohibited within educational facilities. The school has discontinued smoke zones and made the school a tobacco-free school. Vaping devices were initially targeted as an alternative to smoking cigarettes. Recently, the vaping trend has been trending amongst millennials. It can be almost impossible for a parent to suspect their child of having a vaping device. Some of its appeals are the fruity flavors and the different types of labeling to lure in new customers. Some flavors range from Fruity Pebbles, Sour Patch Kids, Strawberry Watermelon, and much more. It seems that most students at DGS have seen vaping at one point or another.
I first started noticing my peers vaping probably like when I saw like smokes in the air, or like little clouds in the air, and people go like this sometimes, make it disappear in the air.
How old were you?
Probably like first time I saw vaping,
Yeah.
like middle school, somewhere around then.
I noticed it like when I was going to parties and such. Like people were just vaping all the time.
Like probably coming into high school, like freshman year.
Probably coming into high school, like last year, freshman year.
I started noticing my peers vaping when probably 8th grade or freshman year. So people would do it in the bathrooms.
I first noticed it when I was maybe at the start of sophomore year. During class and stuff, people started doing it right before a teacher came in or something like that.
Well, it smelled pretty fruity in the bathroom. I'm starting to notice watermelon, the mango, the butterscotch. I'm like, there's something suspicious going on here.
Since 6th grade.
Really? So, was there like a lot of kids in 6th grade that would?
There was just like the main group.
Main
like
group?
10 kids doing it.
Do you think it's a problem in school?
Yeah, I think it's a problem in school. People start bringing their vaping devices to school. I don't think they should be. So
Where in school do you see kids vape the most?
I'd probably say the bathrooms. So
And then you can tell your story whenever.
And part of the funny story I had was I overheard that this one kid decided to throw a device across the room just because his friend probably was asking for it. And it was a bad pass, and it just fell to the ground, and the teacher picked it up and confiscated it for herself. So I don't know what she did with it. I don't know what she's doing with it, but she definitely found something that was bad.
All right.
So,
Thanks,
you.
man.
I don't think it's really a problem. It's just like harmless. There's lots of evidence that show that it could be harmless.
I mean, I don't think so unless like disrupts like their studies and stuff. But like people kind of like get addicted to it and they kind of like need it.
I think it's a problem for some people who are like super addicted to it, but like people who just use it like occasionally on weekends, I don't think it's that big of a deal.
I mean, yes and no. Yes, because I mean, obviously teachers don't like it, but no, because I mean, students, they just, they do it on their own, and I mean, it's what helps them through school.
Yes, I think during school is the worst time to do it actually, as in like if you really want to do it outside of school or do it at home. It's not a thing you should do at school.
Honestly, you do you. I don't really care if you do. For the school, they don't like it. I don't have an issue with it.
I usually see it in the bathroom. I can like smell it in the bathroom, or if you're right before the teacher is in class or something, you see it right there.
Majority of people vaping in the school, I'd probably say they're in the bathrooms because there's no cameras there. Teachers don't really use the student bathrooms.
You see kids vape the most?
The bathrooms for sure, the locker rooms, library.
Bathrooms, gym locker rooms, and the library.
I'd probably say the bathrooms.
Probably on the bus. usually on the bus and just like around like some certain kids.
Most of the time I see vaping in school, probably in the bathroom or probably outside the parking lot.
Always in the bathroom. Always in the bathroom.
I think it's a big problem because I see it everywhere. I see it at work, I see it at school, and I think it needs to stop.
We asked our very own principal, Ed Schwartz, on what he thought about the vaping trend at South High School. How do you think the vaping trend has affected South High School?
Well, we're seeing a lot more kids use that e-cigarette than smoking, and smoking had gone down for a long, long time, but now with e-cigarettes, the trend is going back up, but in the smokeless variety.
Do you think South has a problem amongst students vaping during school hours?
I think there's a problem with some students, but I wouldn't say the school has a problem.
How does the school handle vaping offenses?
Same way we would handle cigarettes or anything else like that.
Downers Grove South students were recently featured on CBS News to talk about the vaping trend they've noticed amongst their peers.
Tonight's original report, e-cigarettes. They're a new nicotine threat at school. They could be creating a future generation of smokers.
Vaping devices are so small now, they're easy for kids to conceal. As CBS 2's Aaron Kennedy reports, districts are cracking down and warning parents.
All across the country, young people post about it on YouTube from their bedrooms.
Full jewel pod of 45 milligram.
Megapod is like the best. They smell like candy.
And from their classrooms.
More and more kids are feeling more comfortable to do it.
I don't think parents know much, if anything, about it.
Mike, Sarah, Clayton, and Blake are all students at Downers Grove High Schools. They've pledged to be alcohol, drug, and tobacco free, but some of their classmates haven't.
I've seen it once or twice in the locker room.
We asked Student Assistance Coordinator Diana Benoist what she knew about the vaping trend at Downers Grove South High School. How do you think the vaping trend has affected South?
I think that it's definitely been a trend that's increased, especially this school year. We have had several students come in and report that they're seeing students vape in the bathrooms or in the classroom. There have been more violations in the dean's office this year than ever before, so I think it is an increasing trend.
Do you think South has a problem with students vaping during school hours?
I do. Like I said, I think we've seen more violations this year. We've had more than 30 violations since the start of the school year this year, compared to last year only a handful. So I think it is more prevalent. I think students are kind of getting a little bit more brazen and risky with where they're willing to vape. We are catching more students though than we were before as well.
Do you think vaping can lead to drug and alcohol abuse?
I know that it can based on the research. The Surgeon General released a report in late 2016. It was a study on teenage e-cigarette and vaping use. And one of the findings of that study was that students who have used an e-cigarette or who have vaped before they're 18 have an increased likelihood of smoking regular tobacco cigarettes, but also an increased likelihood of turning to other substance use like marijuana or alcohol before they're of legal age to drink.
All right, thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks.
In fact, one of the more popular brands right now, Juul, says right on its website, the amount of nicotine in one pod is equal to a pack of cigarettes.
Since nicotine alters the way the brain develops, we are concerned about adolescents and even young adults using these products while their brain is still forming.
A 2016 Surgeon General's report found nicotine exposure during adolescence can be addicting and can lead to the use of traditional cigarettes and drugs like marijuana.
It's kind of scary to us because kids are perceiving that it's not a harmful behavior.
Downers Grove and other school districts are trying to help inform parents about this new trend by sending out emails and holding meetings. Students who've skipped the e-cig trend are trying to help their classmates make wiser choices.
You have the power yourself to be strong enough to say no, and that you gain confidence that you know that you don't need this to look.
As you can see, vaping is a problem that affects kids before they even get to high school. No student should be exposed to vaping devices in an educational environment.